Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we're going to take a look at Cloud9. So Cloud9 is a cloud developer environment that allows you to quickly launch a virtual machine that will utilize a code editor in your web browser. So it's a very good way to get an environment to start working with. I like Cloud9. It's really great. It doesn't allow you to have the same amount of plugins as something like VS Code using Gitpod or GitHub Codespaces. But if you just want to keep everything within the AWS ecosystem, you can definitely utilize it. So what we'll do is we'll first create our environment here using ClickOps, and then we'll see if we can automate it using CloudFormation. So just make your way over to Cloud9. I'm in North Virginia here today, and we'll just choose a name. So my Cloud9 environment here. And notice that we have an option where we can use a new EC2 instance or use an existing EC2 instance. I never choose this option, but it's interesting to see that. Then we have some options here, T2 micro, T3 small, T5 large. It really depends on what you're doing. I like to go with T3 small just to make things efficient. If you're worried about cost, you can run the T2 micro. We have a few options here, Amazon Linux 2023, 2, and Ubuntu. I'm going to tell you, there's not a whole lot on the 2023. Ubuntu has a lot more bundled into it, so often I will launch the Ubuntu version, but today I'll stick with Amazon Linux 2023. We have a couple options if we want to get remote access to the compute side. I never change this, I just leave it alone. We'll go ahead and create this. Okay, you can see I have some other environments because in the past I have made lots of videos here. And so I'm waiting for this environment to spin up. So we will just wait for something to appear here, okay? All right, so it looks like our environment is up. We'll go into this here. I'm gonna go ahead and open this in Cloud9. Now I actually remember when I used to launch these, it would actually ask you how long you want these to run. And I didn't notice that option here. Yeah, so I kind of glanced over it, but here you can actually set how long it will wait till it times out. And so by default, it's 30 minutes, but you could say never. This is going to help you save costs because the idea is that if you close that environment, it's going to automatically shut down. I'm going to go over to Cloud9 here, and you can see that I have a theme selected. Yours probably doesn't look like this, but if you go here on the right-hand side, you can drop down and choose a theme that you would like. And so the dark gray is quite nice. And then there is the theme editor. So there are options here for whatever you want. I like to set my key binding modes to Vim here. So that is good. Now this should come with the AWS CLI install. So if I type in AWS STS get caller identity, okay, it should have something here. So I'm just waiting for this to do something. I'm not sure why it's hanging there, but yeah, there we go. And I'm logged in as the person that I am. So I can go ahead and start doing things here. Now, if I want to go ahead and create files, we could just type in ls. And we have this README here. I'm just going to say mkdir hello. And I'm going to cd into hello. And I'm just going to say touch hello.txt. Okay. But what I want to show you is C9. So C9 is a command that allows you to open things here in Cloud9, but I think we have to install a tool for that. So I'll type in Cloud9 npm install C9-G for global. And what this tool will do is it'll allow you to open files from the terminal. I find that to be extremely useful. So imagine I want to open this folder here. I can type in C9 period. And so now it should open it in the context here, which it didn't do. So maybe that doesn't work anymore because it used to. Okay, I used to be able to do that. I used to be able to open whatever file I want there, but I guess that functionality is gone. But at least that's nice. There is some other things here, so you can put source control in here. It does have some access to AWS and some integrations with CDK, SAM, Code Whisperer. Apparently, I did not know Code Whisperer was here, so that might be interesting to see. Is that turned on? How would I know? Let's go here and take a look. So I just went right click and went to code settings, or is there something here for Code Whisperer Cloud? Yeah, Code Whisperer. Go to AWS settings here. So I don't see anything here, but I'm just curious if this actually works. So if I was to go over to hello.txt, or let's just make a new file, say hello, we'll just change this to, whoops. I'm just making a mess here. We'll change this over to Ruby. I'm just curious if Code Whisperer is here by default. Def, hello, write a tic-tac-toe terminal game. Like, how would I trigger it? Okay. Code Whisperer, Cloud9. From inside your Cloud9 environment, choose the AWS logo on the left-hand side. In the lower panel, choose Developer Tools, open Code Whisperer. Okay. Choose Enable Code Whisperer. Is it not already enabled? I guess it is. But it's not auto-completing. Well, whatever. The point is that you just need to know that you can open this up and you have the AWS CLI and other things like that. So now that that is done, let's go ahead and just tear this down. We'll go to Cloud9 here and delete. Oh, before I do that, I just want to show you that there is an EC2 instance. Okay, so if you needed to do something like resize the drive or change something, you could absolutely do that. And sometimes I end up doing that. And it has its own IP address. Okay, so if you had to access a website, you could do that as well. So just be aware that there is an EC2 instance that you can fiddle around with. But I'm going to go here and just stop this instance. So there should be some way to do this here. I used to know all this stuff off the top of my head, but unfortunately, I don't use Cloud9 that much these days. Though it was a great service for many years. So I'm going to go over to Cloud9. And we'll go ahead and stop this environment. Say delete, delete. And so that environment is now deleting. And so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and set this up with CloudFormation. Now, back in the day, when you wanted to use CloudFormation, you were extremely limited in terms of what kind of environment you wanted to spin up, and specifically like whether it was Ubuntu or Amazon Linux 2. Before, it only supported Amazon Linux 1, and it made things extremely frustrating. But I think now they might have updated it, so it's a little bit too late, but at least you can automate things this way. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Actually, I'm going to make a new folder here in AWS Examples repo. So say mkdir, we'll just say Cloud9. And I'm going to want to copy a couple files over where I'm using CloudFormation. I remember using CloudFormation in something, EBS, basic maybe. Here we go. I'll just copy these two files. I'm going to go over to Cloud9 here. I'm just going to paste them in. And I don't need any of this stuff here, so I'm just going to, I'll leave in all the parameters for now, but I'm going to take all this stuff out down below. I'm going to go over to here. We'll just say deploy Cloud9, AWS Cloud9 basic. And we'll go back here, copy this. And we'll go into our template. And we'll paste this in. We'll just say Cloud9, like that. And we'll have to put in some parameters here. So automatic stop after 30 minutes, which is the default. We'll go over to here and take a look at some of our other options. So we have connection type. I will do with SSM. Just say my test environment. Then we need an image ID. So here I'm hoping that we can use this. It might be very strict in what we can use. So it says identifier must be an AMI, and it has to be one of these. So I believe that this one here that I'm using is an Amazon Linux 2023. If it's not, what you can do is go into EC2 and go grab that yourself. I showed you so many times how to do that, so I'm not going to show that here again here today. I'm going to launch this with a T2 small, unless it was a T3 small. I'm going to say T3. And then we have the name, so I'll just say my test env. I'll bring this up here. I prefer it to be in this order. Do we have to have an owner ARN? Let's go here. It's not required, so I'll just take that out of here. Repos, I guess we can associate a code commit repo. I'm not going to do that here today. We do need a subnet, so it's good that I left this in here. We do not need a VPC, so we'll take that out. And actually, we'll just put the instance type here since we have that up there. And hopefully, that's all we need to get this working. So I'll CD into Cloud9. I don't need to chmod it, but just in case you have you didn't copy this the exact same way as me, you'll do this. We'll go ahead and attempt this deploy and see if it works. And we'll make our way over to CloudFormation. And I'll refresh here. Maybe it has a problem. I need to be in CA Central 1. That's why I'm not seeing it here. If you've never seen something, good chance it is because of the region. We'll go over to change sets. We'll click into here. And it looks like it's going to launch. We'll execute that environment, and we'll wait for that to spin up, okay? All right, so it looks like it rolled back, and we have some issues. So there's something that it doesn't like. So we'll take a look and see what it is. And it says the image ID parameter does not specify valid Amazon machine image supported there. Totally fine. I'm going to go ahead and delete the stack. And we'll make our way over to EC2, and we'll try to figure out an image ID that it actually likes. We did have that instance running there before, so well, I can't grab it from that one because I didn't launch it in this one. But I'll go ahead and launch a new one here. And we'll take a look here. So this one is Amazon Linux 2023 AMI x86. I mean, it seems like this one should be allowed, unless the one that I had there was not this one. Maybe I have like a different kind here. We'll go ahead and paste this in. It's clearly different, so I think maybe the other one might have been like ARM 64. I like to run ARM. And so we'll go ahead and try this again. And maybe this will resolve our issue. Back over to CloudFormation, sorry. And I'm going to go over here to change sets, and we'll go ahead and execute that change set, and then maybe this time it will pass, okay? All right, so another failure, totally fine. I'm sure it's the same issue. For the image ID parameter does not specify a valid image AMI. Okay, AWS, then maybe you should make it easier for us to find them. So here it's asking for Amazon Linux 2023 x86 64, right? We'll go back over to EC2 and we'll take a look. And we will launch an instance. And we'll browse AMIs. So here we have 64, right? Amazon Linux 2023. And the one we pulled, let me take a look here, 085 is the x86 64-bit one. And if we go back to here, to our docs, sorry, I'm getting mixed up here. Amazon Linux 2023 x86 64. So it doesn't like something. The way I would work around this is I would just go and launch up, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over to Cloud9. I'm going to launch up an environment, and then I'm just going to figure out what its image ID is to copy it over so we can automate it. So say my image test, and I'll go to EC2 instances. I'll choose T3. I'll let it be that. I'm going to go ahead and create that. And now I'm going to go over to EC2. So stupid I have to do it this way, but that's fine. And we'll refresh this. And we'll wait for the instance to appear here, okay? All right, let's give this a refresh here. And so I'm going to go into here, and I'm looking for that image ID. Okay, so here it is, that AMI ID. Totally different from what I was using. That's totally fine. As long as we get the one that works, that's all I want here today. I'll go ahead and paste that in here so we have the new one. I know it starts with 31, so that is the one that we want. I'm going to go back over to Cloud9. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one, as this is not what we actually want to be running. And we'll go back to our CloudFormation stack. And I'm going to, oh wait, did our other one work? No. This is what was spun up by Cloud9, because Cloud9 actually spun up a CloudFormation template. Okay, and I'll delete this one here. Great. And that mine is deleted, so that is great. I'm going to go back over to here. I'm going to go ahead and deploy. But you know, now that I know that it's a CloudFormation template, what we could have done is we could have just, after this was launched, grabbed its template and then, you know, saved it for later. But whatever, that's fine. We'll go into here and we'll go to change sets and we'll go ahead and execute that change set and we'll see if this works now, okay? All right, and it rolled back again and we used the correct AMI, so let's go take a look and see what the problem is. The image ID parameter does not specify a valid supported AMI, 013A1543A. So we chose the exact same one that we launched up in this environment, and we chose a T3 small. So I'm not really sure what it wants to get this to work, and so I would just say that I guess you can't automate CloudFormation stacks, Cloud9 stacks with CloudFormation easily. But you know, it's not really a surprise to me because before they weren't useful, and it still isn't useful. But at least we know that we can launch up Cloud9, and it does have a particular use case when you want to connect to things within your VPC, because you can launch it within your VPC where Cloud Shell usually cannot connect to things. So it still has a use case, but again, it's a failure here of AWS not making this automation easy to utilize. But I would say that we are done here, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Ciao.